Hey guys, what is up? This is Aaron, and this is another episode of Out of the Park Baseball 22 with Colorado Rockies. It is not a live stream today. As I mentioned, I am out calling a baseball game as we speak. As you're watching this, I am calling a baseball game, so I am unavailable to do a live stream today. So I wanted to make sure that I got this posted for you fine folks. Before we get started, as I mentioned, guys, please do me a favor. Drop a like on the video, a subscribe on the GM Games channel. Head over to my channel, Around the World Sports. Drop me a subscribe over there. I would really appreciate it. And then also, for those of you who didn't see my tweet last week, I am currently giving away two copies, or one copy of two games. I'm giving away a copy of Out of the Park Baseball 22, a non-Steam version of that, and a Steam version of Franchise Hockey Manager 7. All you need to do is... excuse me. All you need to do is go over to my Twitter channel at AWSAaronYT. Drop me a follow and retweet over there. Go to my YouTube channel. Drop me a subscribe over there. It'll enter you in the contest. I will be doing the winnings, or the drawing, I guess, on Friday. So you got about 5 days to get in. Again, FHM7, a Steam version, and then Out of the Park Baseball 22, a non-Steam version. Follow my Twitter, subscribe to my YouTube, put yourself in. I'll give away a free game. Anyway, it's time to get into some baseball, and we're going to try to get through June and July here. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't, but we are currently 35-20. We are tied for first place in the NFC, in the National League West, with the Padres. The Braves, who we currently are playing, have the best record in baseball. And Tom mentioned to me that I didn't have my depth chart set, and that may explain why we struggled down the stretch. And it looks like we're pretty set, not across the board, obviously. We have we had some empty spots there, but that's fine. We'll get Ferguson in there to play all of our infield positions. Against lefties, we got to make the changes here. So what are we missing? We missed a shortstop. We put Acosta in there at short. Get Ferguson as the backup. And then against the designated hitter, we will get the same thing, Acosta out there. And this is only due to injuries. So looks like there were a couple of spots that were missing, but nothing that would necessarily explain a pretty awful stretch over the last week and a half of May. So anyway, we're into June. So yeah, let's get to it. We got 2 games against the Braves, followed by 3 at home against the Cubs. First game against Atlanta in June is a 12-5 win. Let's go. Offense. Rocking and rolling to start the month of June. Ramirez, 2 hits, 2 runs scored. Drew Jones, 3 hits, 5 RBIs, up to 62 runs knocked in 56 games. B scored 3 runs. Acosta, 3 hits, 3 RBIs. This is going to be a one-year thing for us. If you look at his ARB number next year, it's up at $8 million. I guess maybe we could bring him back, so we'll just sort of see how that goes. Newton got the start, got the win, and we're 1-0 in June. Can we take the series against the best team in baseball? No. All right, so I don't care about David Fletcher. He's probably going to get claimed, but that's fine. It looks like, and we got some people coming back from injuries here soon, which is nice. So game 1 against Chicago. And then we get Willie Castro back. We'll have to make another move to the roster. 17 runs scored in the blowout of the Cubs. Giolito 4 for 5. Ramirez 4 for 6. Eichacker 3 for 6, 3 RBIs. Estrada has 3 hits. Acosta has 3 more hits. He may have just Wally pipped Willie Castro. We get home runs from Lido, Siegler, 2 from Estrada, Ferguson, Fisher. Again, I don't know how we send Ferguson down. I really don't. 883 OPS, 557 slugging. He's got 7 home runs. He's averaging a home run about every 11 at-bats. Denny picks up the win. So I think first thing we're going to do, is there anybody on the roster who absolutely can go down? Well, we have 6 outfielders on the roster. We're going to send Mathis down. And we will get Willie Castro back up. Now, what do we want to do with our lineups? Because Acosta is better hit. So I think what we're going to go back to the way we had it, which was Castro against lefties or against righties, and Acosta against lefties, because Acosta's the better hitter against lefties. So it doesn't make any sense to have Castro out there when Acosta's also the better fielder. But we will get him some time there. And I want Ferguson. I want Ferguson to get some run on the infield because I want his rate. I mean, his defensive ratings are good. I want his positional ratings to increase a bit. So 17-5. Let's go. That's a win right there. Denny is 7-3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 home runs in this one. Game 2 against the Cubs. Wow, we scored 33 runs in the last 2 games. I would say our offense is pretty solid this year, guys, even without Sam Wozniak. What would you say? Giolito, 2 more hits. Acosta, 3 hits, 3 runs scored. He's just been an absolute stud this season. He's on pace for 6 WAR. Wow, we may have to bring him back. I mean, he's wrecked, which is the problem. I mean, he's due to go down with an injury at any point in time, but he has been an absolute stud. B, 2 hits, 3 RBIs. Jones, 4 more RBIs. Ferguson, 5 RBIs. Yeah, he's pretty much locked himself into a maybe not a starter's role right yet, but definitely a spot on the roster. I can't possibly send him down at this point. Guest picks up his 5th win. That ERA is down to 5, so he continues to pitch well as we go for the sweep here against the Cubs. We get it. 4-3 in 10 innings. We walk it off. Luke Giolito, 2 more hits, has that average up to 275. What happened in the 10th? Do we know? I don't think we know. Let's look at the game log. Oops. So we get Victor Acosta strikes out. Giolito gets hit by a pitch. Ramirez with a single. Another hit by pitch loads the bases. And then Estrada drives in Giolito. So hit by pitch, single, hit by pitch, single, game over. All right, we get a day off, followed by a 3-game set at home against Washington. And we'll go up to the All-Star break, and then we'll pause, and we'll figure out what we need to do from a roster perspective. Game 1 against the Senators, or the Nationals, excuse me. Where did I get Senators from? Another easy win at 9-1. 4 hits for Ramirez, 4 hits, 4 RBIs for B. Stewart's got that average up over 220. It's climbing. Newton goes 5, gets the win. Provolone pitches 3 shutout innings for the save. Game 2. 3-1 loss. So we are 5-2 this month. Final game is a 4-2 win. Score 3 in the bottom of the 8th. Willie Castro hits his first home run of the year. Ferguson hits his 10th. Drew Jones has 70 RBIs in 63 games. Denny goes 6 1/3, gives up no earned runs. Bello picks up the win. Cordereal gets the save, striking out the side. All right, 3 games in the Bay, followed by 3 games at home. So Aaron Perry is back. We're going to stick him on a rehab assignment. We have no room for him, so hopefully in the next 20 days he either gets hurt or we can trade him. Another win, another 4-2 victory. 2 more RBIs for Jones, 2 hits for Ramirez and B, 2 hits for Romo. Guess gets that ERA under 5. There we go, Ben Guess. And now we have to figure out what to do with David Fletcher. My guess is he won't take a demotion, right? So we are going to have to see if anybody's interested in him, I guess. We can get anything that isn't a 40-man roster spot. No. All right. Well, take care, David. All right. So I have to. Let's set up the minor. Do we want to call anybody up? That's the other thing, or move anybody around, I guess. So Kyle Williams, 23 years old, got up to a hot start in Double-A. I think we'll leave him there for now, just because the control's not great. I want to see this over a little bit longer period of time. These are all veterans that we signed, so there's nobody else there. What's Callahan doing in Double-A? 292 this year, so we'll let him go for a little while longer, maybe through the end of the month, and then we'll call him up to Double-A. Manny Escueda. Same deal with him. We'll leave him in High A for now. And I think that might be it. Anybody here? No. Real doing well in A-ball, so that's nice to see. McElfresh hasn't started this year. Bonnet. Whoa. This guy was in 2028. Why is he there? He should be up here with those ratings. And I think that's everything for now. David Rodriguez looks to be a pretty good shortstop, given some time, so we'll just let him continue to plug away. All right, so we got one more game, or we have the draft pool is tomorrow. So, and we're gonna be picking kind of in the early 20s, I'd imagine, with our record last year, 27th. Okay, and that's because there are a couple comp picks in here. So mock draft, they have us taking Rob Bagley. I hope there's somebody better than him out there. If not, then we get a power hitting first baseman, but we'll see. Game 2 at San Francisco. 4-1 loss. Look to take the series. Continue our hot start to the month. We do. We went 5-2. So Newton pitched well again. We get top of the order, goes 8 for 17. Drew Jones is up to 75 RBIs in 65 games. Newton picks up the win again. I talked about him being a weak spot when the season started, but he's been one of our most consistent starting pitchers. Yeah, ERA of 3.39. He's really been one of our best starting pitchers. Really, our top two pitchers, Giolito and Brubaker, have been our worst starters. So, that may be what we look at. And our bullpen's been really good, actually. Second best bullpen in the National League right now. Starters may be where we want to look at. We're loaded offensively, so I don't think we need to make any moves there. So we'll take a look at starters once we hit June 1st. And now a big series. 3 games at home against San Diego. Last time we played the Padres on the road, we got swept. So there we go. 13-4. That's a statement game right off the bat against the Padres. Acosta has 2 RBIs, scores 2 runs. Estrada 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Lynn has that average up over 300. He homers twice. So some of these, I don't want to call him young because he's 28 already, but he's getting his first real shot at age 28, and he is taking advantage of it. Brubaker gets the win. All right, game 2. Can we tie ourselves up? We are game out of first place. If we win here, we're tied. If we lose, we're 2 games out, and we win. So we are tied for first place now. Lito's got that average up to 286. Drew Jones, he's got to be kind of at the top of the MVP race right now. We are through 68 games. He's hitting 328, 19 home runs, and 76 runs knocked in. Then he goes 5, but the bullpen comes in and does yeoman's work once again. And we look to sweep the Padres and move into sole possession of first place. Can we? We cannot. So we're a game out of first place at 45-24. We got 3 games at home against the Pirates now. 5-0 win. You like to see those shutouts. Sal Stewart, 3 RBIs. Estrada, 2 RBIs. Giolito with his best start of the year. 8 shutout innings, striking out 12. We strike out 15 for the game. Game 2 against Pittsburgh. 4-3 win. Walk it off in the bottom of the 9th. Luke Lito goes yard leading off the 9th inning. So the World Series hero a year ago, as he walked off Game 5 of the World Series with a home run, walks off this one to move us to 47-24. Newton pitches well again. Peoples gets the win as we look for the sweep before a day off, and we get it. So Brubaker has a strained forearm. Provolone looks like he's hurt. Good offense. Lito up to 290. Ramirez 2 hits. B 3 hits and an RBI. Ike Acker has 2 hits. Ferguson with a pinch hit home run. Brubaker, he goes out after 2/3 of an inning. Uh-oh. So let's see what the issue is with Provolone. Hopefully he's not down for too long. We get a day off today. Should get our notification on Provolone here. 3 months for Loic Provolone. Not great. It's another bullpen arm that is injured. And do we go to Compton? Hasn't pitched particularly well. I'd rather not call either of these guys up just yet. I think we go back to Spencer Miles. What do we want to do with Brubaker for the time being? I think we just let him pitch through it. I mean, if he gets hurt, he gets hurt. We probably aren't going to re-sign him at this point either way. So I think we just let him pitch through it. But losing Provolone stings a bit, as he was pretty good for us. Gave us 40. He was on pace for 100. He was on pace for 2 WAR as a reliever. Had put up a pretty solid season. So looks like his year is just about over. But now we have 3 games against Miami going into the All-Star game. So let's get through those games and let's see what All-Stars we have. 12-10 loss. 6-2 loss. Let's avoid the sweep here, guys. We do. We win 5-3. So we're 49-26. We're 3 games out of first place. So this feels more like kind of the way things were for us previously, where we were playing really, really good baseball, but there was just one team playing better than us. B has 2 hits and 3 RBIs. Giolito with another monster performance. So his last 16 innings, he's given up 7 hits, 1 run, and struck out 23. That's the ace stuff we like to see. All-Star game. Who made the All-Star team? Jim Denny made the All-Star team. He's the only pitcher. Jack Leiter makes the All-Star team for San Diego. Good for him. Jim Denny gets he's going to be the starter in the All-Star game. Bats, we had Drew Jones, and that is it. Drew Jones. We have the top offense in the National League, and we have 1 offensive All-Star. Any prospects? Our prospect pool's kind of meh these days. So Jamie Callahan, Mike Hennon. Hennon's somebody I have to move before his value starts to drop. And he's already down to a 2-star, so... All right, so let's pause. We're 3 games out of first place. We have the best offense in the National League. We have the 5th best start. We have 1st in runs scored, 4th in runs against. Our bullpen is 3rd. Our starters are 1st. We're 5th. We're 1st in FIP. We're 1st in strikeouts. Our defense is not great, which is a bit surprising considering we have above-average players at pretty much every position, with the exception of maybe left. Left and right aren't great, but our center fielder is Gold Glove caliber. Our second baseman is, no, I guess our second baseman's pretty crap too, but Castro at short's really good. Stewart at 3rd is really good. Our catcher is really good, so that's a bit of a surprise, but yeah, so we're 3 games out of first place. Salary-wise, we don't have as many decisions to make now as we did previously because we get an extra year of arbitration with all of our guys. So Denny and Guess we don't have to worry about for another year. Well, Denny we have for 2 more years. Guess we have for next year. Brubaker isn't, I wouldn't say is a problem, but given, I mean, that's not a terrible contract for him. So we may just let him play out the season and see how it goes. We'll probably opt out of Giolito's contract unless he pitches like he has the last 2 games of the season, the last 2 games over the course of the year. Because we do have the money to re-sign Brubaker, even if we keep Giolito on, it'll just limit the other decisions we can make, but I'm okay with that. So I think starting pitching is going to be the way to go. My suspicion is that there's not going to be anybody really there yet. Morejon, who's with the Mets now, he's making $22 million, but he's fragile. Tyler Glasnow, making $4 million. Do we make a run? Oh, guys, I think we make a run here at our boy, right? I mean, fine. You want a 33-year-old Sam Huff? here. You want both of these catchers? So they agree to this deal. We give them 2 old catchers, and we bring back Tyler Glasnow, and we stick him in our in the 5 spot of our rotation. If he gets hurt, he gets hurt, but he's Tyler Glasnow, guys. The stuff has decreased, but the movement has actually gotten better over the years. So it looks like he's learned how to pitch a little bit more as he has lost some of his stuff. I'm pulling the trigger. And we are bringing old friend Tyler Glasnow back into the fold. That's going to let me... So what do we want to do with our pitching right now? So I think we can... Spencer Miles can go away. I don't think anybody will claim him. So we get Glasnow back for free. And who goes to the bullpen? Who goes to the... Is it Ben Guess? Is it Ben Guess? Really good in May. Meh in June. Really bad in April. So I think we go 6-man rotation here for a bit and just let it sort itself out. Well, that trade makes me happy because we get to bring back one of the most important players from this Let's Play. Kevin Gucher has to be activated. He is a Rule 5 guy, so I think we put him on a rehab assignment right now because I can't justify sending Ferguson back down with his 933 OPS and 12 home runs and 112 at-bats. All right, let's get up to July 1st, and let's get to international amateurs. All right, so we are through the the All-Star break, and let's get to post-All-Star break with 3 games in St. Louis. 4-3 loss, game 2. It's a 3-2 win. Jones is out for 4 days. That's fine. We scored 3 in the top of the first. 3-run homer from Jones up to 82 runs knocked in. Ben Guess picks up the win. Game 3 against St. Louis. 7-5 win without Drew Jones in the lineup. Looks like we get a 3-run homer from Fisher, his 10th. Lito hits his 9th. Stewart hits his 11th. Sal's got his average up to 240, which is huge. If with the start he had, if he can end up around 270, 280 with the doubles power that he shows, I mean, he's on pace for, yeah, I mean, I would take that. You know, my guess is that the average will continue to climb, but I'll take that for now. B's got his average back up over 350. Giolito pitches another great game, another 13 strikeouts. So he has been on quite the run here his last 3 starts. That's 16, 22 and 2/3 innings, 12 hits, 2 earned runs, not a single walk, and 35 strikeouts. That's ace-like right there. That's what we need out of the $30 million man. Take on Oklahoma City for a couple of games before we go into July. 11-4 victory. I was happy with Ramirez. He's angry with our performance, even though we are 2-time World Series champions. We're going to bring back Geraldo because he's been good. 2 times World Series champions over the last 10 seasons. He's not happy with that. That's fine. You don't have to be happy with it. Lito's up to 284 now. 2 hits, 2 runs scored. Reaches base 4 times. Ramirez has 3 hits. B has 3 RBIs. Fisher 2 RBIs. Stewart 2 RBIs. Castro 3 hits. And Willie just continues to get it done, man. Continues to get it done. And it's not a small sample size. It's 100 plate appearances with him batting .350. So, most valuable Willie for sure. Tanner Brubaker picks up his 5th win. Final game of the month. 15-10 loss. Oof. Oof. What happened in this one? Denny gets hit hard. Corte-Real gets absolutely lit up. That ERA's up to 6.5 now. We were up 8-3 after 3 innings. That's not good. Oh, and what did I needed to put Miles in AAA. All right, so we'll get to. Well, I guess let's just pause. No, we'll go the stat deep. Oh no, Ramirez diagnosis pending. That could be painful, as he's been friggin' good, man. Friggin' good. Offensively, we still have the top offense in the National League. Our bullpen is slipped a bit. Has Glasnow gotten a start with us yet? He hasn't. So today's going to be his first, or tomorrow is going to be his first start. Hopefully Ramirez isn't down for very long. 2 weeks, day to day. That's fine. Player development. Glasnow dropped as expected. Giolito dropped. That's what happens when you get to be 36. Any of our young players? I saw Compton. Still struggling in AAA. Estrada, meh. Bonnet, he's the guy just moved up to A-ball, right? Yeah, and he's only 21 for 49 in A-ball. A lot of our young guys get better. McElfresh was our number 1 pick a year ago. Gone off to a good start in rookie ball. Smoker was a pick last year as well, too, right? It was a 10th round pick. Okay. Any awards? Nope. Kyle Tucker, John Dodd, not a surprise there. He's on pace for a down season this year. Only 267 strikeouts. All right, so international free agency. Any of these players going to want to sign with us? I think we go right after Sandoval. He's clearly the best player. We'll see if he's interested in becoming a Colorado Rocky. Let's sim this game and see what Tyler does in his first start back. 11-6 win, so he gave him plenty of offense. Looks like he pitched okay. My guess is he probably got pulled in the 6th. Oh, he got pulled after 4 2/3. Okay. Home runs from Lido, Lynn, and Stewart. Okay, so we have to make a change to the pitching staff because Cordereal is getting hit really, really hard as our setup man. So we'll make Richardson our setup man. We'll put him in middle relief and use less often. His secondary role, I guess that. My only concern here is that the 6-man staff is going to put a lot of strain on the bullpen. So I think we move Tyler into the bullpen. I don't know how thrilled he's going to be with that, but my guess is he'll be okay. And what happens if we... Yeah, I mean, he becomes really, really good as a bullpen arm. So Glasnow, middle relief, use more often. Well, actually, backup his secondary will be that of a stopper. So we'll get Tyler out there as his ratings look really, really good as a bullpen arm now. All right, so we're 2 games out of first place. Let's get up to the draft. 3-game series against a bad Dodgers team. We lose 3-0 to a bad Dodgers team. All right, so Sandoval doesn't want to play for us, so that means we may be sitting out international free agency this year. I mean, he looks okay, but let's try this. I'll give you 4. If you take it, great. If not, we're going to sit out international free agency this year. All right, game 2 at home against the Dodgers. It's an 11-1 win, so we bounce back nicely after being shut out. 2 hits from Lido, Ramirez, and B. 3 RBIs for Ferguson. Jones is back in the lineup, hits a 3-run homer. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. 3-run homer. Home runs for Ferguson, Jones, and Romo. Guess gets the win. 6 1/3 shutout for him. And game 3 against the Dodgers. All right, 9-1. Or 9-0. All right, so that's fine. We're going to sit out of international free agency this year. Pagawada wants more money. I'm not prepared to give him more money. 9-0 win. Giolito, man, he has been on fire. As is Willie Castro's got that average up to 377. Drew Jones, 88 RBIs in 84 games. Ramirez in the leadoff spot today. 3 hits, 3 runs scored. Giolito, 7 more shutout innings. So that now puts him at 16, 23, 29 and 2/3 innings. He's given up 20 hits, 2 earned runs. He's walked 2 and struck out 41. Lowered his ERA from 4.46 to 3.43 in that time. He's been good. 3 games now at New York against the Mets. 5-4 win. All right, so now Ramirez, is he actually out now, or is it still, he's still day-to-day? It's just a knee contusion. Battle through it, my man. He has 3 hits in this one. Jones with 2 more RBIs, already up to 90 RBIs on the season. Castro, 3 more hits. Willie Castro, man. I mean, I'm looking forward to getting him off the books, or maybe bringing him back when his contract expires at a cheaper rate, but he has been good. Brubaker was okay. 2 runs in 5 1/3. He wants to come back. He just gave us that message. We'll see. We will see. Game 2 against the Mets. 4-3 loss. And final game of the series is a 3-1 win. Sademon Parker is making great progress. That's wonderful. He's likely to stay in AAA this year. I have no room for him, unfortunately, and he's regressed. So, what happened here? Jones with 2 more RBIs, 21 home runs, 91 knocked in. Acosta has 2 hits. Newton pitches really well. Yeah, I can't get Newton out of the rotation with how well he's pitched. It wouldn't make any sense. Glasnow comes in, Correa and Peoples. We get a day off followed by 3 games at home against Milwaukee. That final game of the Milwaukee series will be the draft. 10-5. All right, so Aaron Perry is back. I don't think anybody, no one's going to be interested in him. We're just going to DFA him, I think. I have it set on all batters. So if I can trade him for someone who isn't on the 40-man, you know, at this point it probably makes sense. But I can't, so I'm just going to DFA him. That's not what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to do. So we win 10-5 in the first game of the series. Giolito up to 11 home runs, 285. B's up at 354. Jones 3 hits. Stewart, Lynn, Siegler all have 2 hits. Ferguson drives in 4. Hits his 14th home run of the season. Yeah, our middle infield is in pretty good shape. Ferguson is going to be a really good piece for us if he can keep this up. Guess is 9-2, has that ERA sub 5 now. Game 2 against Milwaukee. Is an 8-3 loss. And we're at the draft. So let's just finish this day to get the results. We went 12-2. Did I see Glasnow got hurt? How long is he out for? Okay, he's fine. All right. So we win 12-2. B's got his average over 360. Lynn, 333 for Jackson Lynn. 10 home runs, 24 knocked in. Jones at 97 RBIs in 90 games. Giolito homers. Brubaker goes 6 1/3. Cool. So we got the draft. So let's get to the draft. 27th. I thought we would have been picking lower than that, given that we only won 91 games, but that's fine. All right, auto pick. Let's see what's available. Oof. Bob Beankin. Bob Boxcar Beankin. That kid can swing the stick, as can Darius Black. There's some offense in this draft. There is some offense in this draft for sure. Who do they think we should take? Ricky Ranta. They think we should take Ricky Ranta, the third baseman. He's not bad. I don't like his contact. Why does Dalton have his name in all caps? Beacon, he's all bat. I mean, he doesn't have a position, and that's kind of the problem with him. Jim Christie. They want us to take Ricky Ranta. I wish there was a middle infielder who had kind of these similar ratings. Kurt Russell. Let's just look at pitchers really quickly. No, Frederick's not bad. To Georgia Tech. Meh. If he's there with our second pick, we might take him, or our comp pick that we're going to get from Wozniak, we might take him. But I think we're going to start with a batter. It just depends on which one. Which one is the question? Beacon's the best bat, arguably. I mean, you could say Black is the best bat, but I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I like Ranta. Good gap power, good home run power, good eye, good discipline, great arm. Goes to LSU. Question is, will his contact be enough? See, here's the thing. Beacon's the best bat, but is he ever going to field well enough to play in the National League? That's the question. I mean, he's only 18, and he's fragile, so I think that's going to rule him out right away. We go to Darius Black. I mean, I don't like taking first baseman in the first round, but went to Penn State. Got great home run power, great gap power, average discipline, average contact. His avoid K could potentially come up with time. Right now I'm leaning towards Darius Black. Collins isn't bad. I think we're going to go with Darius Black. We're going to go with the power-hitting first baseman out of Penn State. And let's see if that pitcher is there now. He's not. Do we not have a comp pick? Did we not get a comp pick for Wozniak? Huh. I thought we were getting a comp pick for him. Joe Traxel. I don't like, again, it's early to take a bullpen arm, but he appears to be pretty solid. OSA likes him even more than we do. Yeah, we can take a flyer on a Joe Traxel in the second round. Oh, okay, so we had a second round comp pick for Wozniak, not even a first, huh? Okay. Okay. None of these shortstops can hit. Oh, Christie can hit a little bit, but he's also the worst fielder of the bunch. But I think I'm going to take him. His bat looks like it could be good enough. I mean, you know my profile. I like the gap power, home run power, and eye and discipline. So Jim Christie will be our third pick. Now let's start to do what we normally do. It's look for players that are maybe not. Wow, there's some good bats in this draft. I think we take Jared Ellis, another first baseman, and he's pretty well developed. Ooh, Chris Reynolds. This is the guy. We take Chris Reynolds and we make him a two-way. Absolutely. Next round. Any other pitchers in here that are really good hitters? Coronado. An 18-year-old, potential 40 contact, 68 gap, 54 home run power. Let's start looking at our pitchers. Let's start looking at pitch potential. Excuse me. Jesus Gonzalez, 4 good pitches. Powell's not a starter. Only has 2 pitches. No. Ooh. I don't like the movement. Movement was a little higher. Can't have low movement cores. Eric Smith, no. I mean, if I can find someone who's got good stuff, good movement, and really bad control, I might draft him. Just because, again, in cores, as long as you can keep the ball down, The walks aren't going to kill you. It's the home runs. He's pretty developed already, 23 years old. Not a lot of great pitchers in this draft. Chris Hooper. Where do you go to school? TCU. Meh. And not a lot of great pitchers in this draft. We have to take Josh Grimes. He's only 18, has 4 potentially good pitches. Sure. All right, so it doesn't look like our strategy is going to work in this draft. It doesn't look like there are that many good pitchers or players who have good pitching ratings, or pitch ratings, I should say. I struggle with words sometimes. You guys know that. Just kind of deal with it. Yes, not a great draft for kind of the strategies that we normally take. Tim Linzer's got good catcher ability, but, I mean, can't hit to save his life. He's a half star. Same with Jeff Karen. All right, let's go back to batting potential. See what we have. So Steve Morgan, as an 18-year-old, yeah, for sure. I mean, that bat plays. I mean, he's only 18, but that bat will play. Any power guys left? Josh Hager, 84 power. Oh, we're going to take Coronado. He's still there. Wasn't expecting that, but we'll take that. What do we got here with Joe Ellerton? Ooh, I like him. Good defensively. It's probably a third baseman with his range, but good speed. The power develops, and he's from Medford, Massachusetts. Medford. We will take him. Any other? Mike Horak. He's 21. He's from Downers Grove. That is, we're going to take him. Randy Savage, the Macho Man, is from Downers Grove. I have family that's from Downers Grove, and I have lived in Downers Grove. So we are going to take Mike Horak. All right, so it's only 8 rounds. I feel like we've been drafting a lot longer than that, but I think we're going to go ahead and complete the draft at this point. Strategies didn't really work for this draft, but I feel like we got some good draft picks in this one. Let's start with the guys who want more than slot, just to make sure that we can sign them, which, I mean, there's no reason we wouldn't be able to. We have plenty of money. You can see just under $24 million right now, and then we can get into these guys. So you got to remember, once Reynolds signs, that we need to make him a two-way player so that we can get his bat out there and develop that as well as his pitching arm. All right. So there's our draft. 4 picks in the first 96. Yeah, it's an okay draft. I some of the players we got, we'll see. But I like the Christie pick. I like the Reynolds pick. I like the Morgan pick. So, yeah, should be a pretty good draft. All right, so it's July 11th. We'll submit about a week and then figure out what, if any, other deals we want to make. Just make sure no one gets hurt or anything like that. So, all right, 3-game set in the desert. First game's a 4-1 loss. So we got to figure out what to do now with Goocher. And I think the answer is trade him. So if we put him and Hennon out there together, what can we get for prospects? Okay. All right. There's some talent here. There is some talent here. You can never have too much young pitching. He was a second-round pick last season. Jeff Nichols looks okay. Ben Vivas. Las Ben. It's really bad. I shouldn't even try to joke. I like him. A lot of speed, great defensively. I don't know if the bat's ever going to come along, but I like him. Ooh, Sergio Adon Rowan. Maybe I can get them both. Again, good defensively. So we'll have to keep that in mind. Atlanta. Tommy Walker, ground ball pitcher. He looks to be pretty good. Prosta. Yeah, there's some talent here, guys. There is some talent here. Eric Aparicio. Ooh, ground ball pitcher, 99 to 101. Juan Rodriguez. Oof. Maybe an Aparicio Rodriguez deal. That might be nice. Let's see what else is out here. But right now, that's my favorite deal is the White Sox. McCloskey. And we would be giving up a Rule 5 guy that ultimately we would have to turn around and send back to the team that drafted him because we don't have a spot on our roster for him right now. Eric Jasic, 24 years old, fan favorite. Had a really good year in Double-A last year. Catching prospect might not be bad. He's really good defensively. His bat, I think, is good enough. Blake Larson, he's an extreme fly ball pitcher, but I like the ratings. Cardosa, oh man. Roble, he's not bad. Maybe Masato Chilcutt. I don't know, guys. This is tough. There is some talent out here. I'm not trading with the Dodgers. Dave Urena's not terrible. Not trading with the Giants. Ooh, he's a two-way player. He's a bullpen arm, but he's a two-way player. He's got a good bat. Mike Pinnell. I mean, he's got a bat. His catching ability isn't great, but it's okay. So I think right now, because here's the deal. We need a catcher, or we're going to need a catcher. We maybe don't need a catcher right now, but we're going to need one. So right now, the deal I like the most is Aparicio and Rodriguez, if I can get that. Can I get that deal? Okay. Now I need a catcher. Gabe Briones, he's 30, but he's still making the minimum. All right, I think I'm going to do this. And we're going to put Briones in AAA, and he will be in the mix for next year because Romo's contract expires at the end of this season, and we're not going to – we may re-sign him. I mean, what does he want? He wants $13 million. I don't want to pay him $13 million. He absolutely would have to take a pay cut. But I feel like giving up. I wouldn't mind giving up Greg Melvin, I guess. It would make more sense to give. Yeah, someone like Ruben Villa. Like I would be okay with that. We'd be getting a potential really, really good bullpen arm with a great fastball and what could be a wipeout slider. He's a ground ball pitcher. Still on a minor league contract. We'd be getting Juan Rodriguez, who we could stick in AAA right now. He's making the minimum. But that bat, man, that bat is good. We could probably play him up at first base if we needed to. He's only 25. And then we'd be getting Gabe Briones, who, wouldn't be any worse than Drew Romo is with the bat. with the glove, he's 90% of what Romo is, or 80% of what Romo is, but at 8% of the cost. We're giving up Gucher, who's a Rule 5 guy. We'd be giving up Hennon, who doesn't have a home, and we'd be giving up Villa. So let's just quickly look and see if there's... okay. Well, that's the guy I want, but they don't stand a chance. Yeah, insulting. I don't know. He is a Rule 5 guy. Maybe we'll get lucky, and they won't put him on the on the 40-man. Maybe they'll do something dumb like that. Can we add anything else to this? Would you give me Mario Rios? Nope, you would not. I mean, either way, I'm going to pull the trigger on this, but, I mean, you know how it is, right? We got to see if we can see what we can milk the AI for here at every opportunity. He was the number 1 pick last year. Fat chance. Ray Hicks, he's pretty good. Probably won't give him to me. What have I been smoking? Unfortunately, nothing. What about Julio Uranga? No times 1,000. All right, I'm going to pull the deal here. Cool. Fans are happy with Briones, as expected. So we're going to put both of these guys on what is now the 38-man. We're going to send them both to AAA. Oh, crap burger. Siegler's been really good this year. All right. He's out of... Damn. What do I do? I can't justify sending anybody else down. I can't justify sending anybody else down. So he's out of options, is what this is telling me. Estrada. Maybe we move on from Estrada again. I mean, he hasn't been bad, but he hasn't been great. And I'd rather have the catcher there just in case. Maybe this is a completely stupid decision to make. I don't really know. Jose Serna as a first baseman. Looks pretty good. Okay, so Jacksonville really wants him. Excuse me. Can we get Lemon and Seeley? Where is he? Where do you have him? Okay, so we can get both, and I'm good with that. I am good with that. Duke Ekstrom? Add him. Okay, I don't want to add anything to it. But I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. It gets us another potential arm in our bullpen. It's only 23 years old. And it gets us just a fantastic defensive middle infielder with questionable work ethic. But former first-round pedigree. Good glove, good speed. I'll take it. All right. We make that deal as well. That allows us to put Briones on the 40 on the big league roster. We're gonna come in here. We are going to... Traxel was our pick, right? Yeah, so Lemon's going to go up here. Aparicio and Seeley we're going to disable, and we're going to put them both in AA. Traxel signed. We'll disable his. We'll start him in A-ball. Black we will disable. We'll leave him in rookie ball for now. Christie we will disable and leave him in rookie ball. I think that's it for now. All right, so we made some changes there. Jackson Lynn will back up in center now. Ike Acker will back up in left. Same thing here. Ike Acker in left. And we have Lynn playing first base, but that's fine. We can back him up in center. All right. So I think that makes sense. It gives us a third catcher, which we don't really need, but it gives us protection in case we can't or choose not to re-sign Romo next season. Unless Siegler's offense drops even more, I'd be perfectly content going into next year with Siegler and Briones at catcher. So, all right. That may be it for the trade deadline. We'll submit ahead about another week or so and see what happens. But unless someone gets hurt, I think that's going to be it. 6-1 win. Parker, we're just going to send him to AAA. So 2 hits, 3 RBIs for Stewart. B walks 3 times. That's not his MO. Newton goes 7. ERA down to 3.08. Game 3 in the desert against Arizona. 10-6 loss. So we lose 2 out of 3 to the Diamondbacks. We have a 3-game set now at home against Philadelphia. A bad loss. 13-1. Who started this one? Giolito. But he only pitched 2 1/3. He got hurt. Forearm soreness. Okay. Bello and Fisher came in and took a beating for the team. So that's what he's there for. Game 2 against Philadelphia. We've lost 3 out of 4 now. And there we go. We bounce back with a 5-4 victory. 2 hits, 3 runs scored for B. 2 hits, 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs for Lynn. Stewart's got his batting average up almost at 250 as he drives in 3. Lynn continues to mash. Brubaker was just okay. Game 3 against Philly is another win. 20-game hitting streak by Chris B. I think finally broken in this one due to a pinch hitting appearance where he drove in a run. Acosta 3 hits. Lynn 2 hits, 3 more RBIs. Drew Jones has 100 RBIs in 96 games. Denny goes 6. Glasnow picks up his first win since coming back to Colorado. And he's pitched well. 17 strikeouts in 10 innings. Love to have him around. He's your favorite. He's our favorite. He's Tyler Glasnow. 3-game series in Cincinnati. 8-5 wins. That's 3 in a row. 4 hits from Lito. Has that average back over for 300. Let's go, Luke. He's 28 years old already. Unbelievable. Ramirez 2 hits. Our 2 and 3 hitters are hitting 360 between them. No wonder Drew Jones has 102 RBIs in 97 games. Stewart 2 more hits. Romo homers. Average still under 200. Newton picks up the win. Game 2 against the Redlegs. 7-5 wins. Just keep on winning. Keep on digging away here. B at 360 scores 3 more runs. Jones drives in 2 more. Lynn hits another home run. He has just been on fire. Look at his last 2 months. He's 27 for his last 59 at the plate. 27 for 59 with 9 home runs and 19 RBIs. Has an OPS of 1,500 over the last 2 months. Jackson Lynn. Ruthian numbers. Game 3 against the Reds. We lose 3-1. We get a day off before we take on Atlanta. Does Atlanta still have the best record in baseball? 59-40, they do not. The Padres have the best record in baseball. We have the second best record in baseball. So this feels more like the way things should be, where we're the second best team in the league and the second best team in our division. It's game 1 at home against the Braves. Just 10-7 loss. We drop our second straight. 3 in a row. And we win the final game of the series. So we're 65-37. Fisher 3 hits in 4 at-bats. Jones has 2 more hits. Romo with a 2-run double. Newton pitches well, but doesn't get the win because Richardson blows the save. Peoples gets the save. Game 1 in Chicago against the Cubbies. It's a 7-5 win this time. Gave up 5 in the 5th, but hang on for the win. Giolito 3 hits, 3 runs scored. Castro 2 hits. Stewart 2 hits. That averaged up to 255 now. Guess doesn't make it through 5. Can't get the win. That ERA is back up to 5.5. Glasnow picks up the save. Let's go, Tyler Glasnow. Game 2 in the friendly confines. Not so friendly. We lose 8-3. And the final game of the 3-game series against the Cubs is a 6-4 win. So we take 2 out of 3 against the Cubs. Acosta has 3 hits. B has 2 hits. Who drove in all of our runs? Of course, Drew Jones. 2 hits, 4 runs knocked in. 109 RBIs in 105 games. Brubaker goes 6. Bullpen's been iffy here over the last month or so. And you can see they're down to 8th. Are there any bullpen arms that we can get for cheap? Trade block. Crochet, Figator. Excuse me. He's fragile. He's fragile. He's an extreme fly ball pitcher who's fragile. Rodriguez wants to be in the starting rotation. Would Oklahoma City, I don't know, really want to trade for any of those guys. Our bullpen, I feel like our bullpen should be fine given their ratings. So I'm not gonna make any moves. I'm gonna stick with what we have, and we're just gonna kind of run through and see if we can see if this team is good enough. Let's see. Game 1 at Washington. It's a 5-1 win. Lynn has 2 more RBIs. 2 hits for Lido, Ramirez, and Castro. Denny picks up his 8th. We're tied for first place. Game 2 at Washington. It's a 4-2 win. Lynn with another 3-run bomb. Jackson Lynn, man. Jackson Lynn and Chris Ferguson they've got 29 home runs in about 200 at-bats. He's got 15 home runs and 171 at-bats. If he, at that pace, if he had 500 at-bats, it's 45 home runs. It's just a crazy season. And then Lynn has 14 home runs and 100. Yeah, so they're averaging about a home run every 10 at-bats. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. Newton picks up the win. Glasnow's pitched well since we brought him over to 3.12 ERA. Game 3 at Washington as we look to sweep the Nats. We do. 2 more RBIs for Drew Jones. Fisher's got his average up to 240, guys. Watch out. That average can sit around 260 or 270 or so. He's going to be a pretty significant contributor with that gap power, that home run power, and that eye and discipline. And he's got a ton of protection around him, so it's not like he has to carry things. Guess doesn't get the win again. Yeah, Ben Guess, man. This could be it. This could be it. We could be looking to move Mr. Guess in the offseason. All right, so we got 1 game left. We'll look at stats, and we'll call it an episode. So what happens here against San Francisco in the final game of July? It's a 15-3 blowout of the Giants. What do we have happening here? Drew Jones, 115 runs knocked in through July. Just for reference, he's on pace for 171 runs knocked in. I know RBIs isn't the be-all, end-all of stats, but when you are on pace for 170 RBIs, you're having yourself a year. Ike Acker, 2 for 4 with 4 runs knocked in. Sal Stewart knocks in 3. Briones gets an at-bat. Ramirez, 2 hits, 3 runs scored. B, 3 hits, 3 runs scored. Giolito's 10 and 8. Pitches well. All right. Well, that's it for games. Let's take a look at notes and stats before we call it an episode. So player updates. Joe Sullivan continues to get better. Haas gets a little better. Denny gets a little worse, but he's still having a good year. Corto Real gets worse. Yeah, he's probably not long for this team with that ERA and that pitch type. Fisher gets better. Stewart's contact gets a little worse. Jones is better. Lynn gets better. Satterfield gets better. He will be a starter next year. Look at those pitches. Holy crap. We picked him. He was one of those, and I know I've talked about this before, but he was one of those pitchers that we took because he had 5 potentially really good pitches, and his control was holding him back. If you look at his scouting, when we drafted him, his potential control was a 10, and it's now up to a 50. So, that's why you gotta look at those lower rounds. You don't want to just let the AI do it all for you because you miss players like that. That's about it. AL hitter of the month, Samuel Zavala. In the National League, Johnny Ciccoli. Pitcher of the month in the AL, Joey Cantillo. In the National League, Louis Patino, the former Rocky. AL rookie of the month, Mike Daft. And in the NL, no surprise, Jackson Lynn. 333, 7 home runs, 17 RBIs. So let's delete the messages. Let's start with the pitching staff. I'd like to start with the pitching staff. So Jim Denny continues to be our WAR leader like he is every year, on pace for another 12 wins, another 5-win season. Very, very good. One of our best draft picks. Number 3 overall, or number 4? Yeah, number 3 overall in 2024. Lucas Giolito having a better season this year than he did last year. His stuff has started to drop. So we'll see what he wants. We'll probably decline the option, and then re-signing him isn't unheard of. So we'll probably decline the option and see what he wants in the offseason. But he's been pretty good this year. Grant Newton's been fantastic, frankly. I wasn't expecting this at all out of him, but he's on pace for a 4-win season and 15 wins. Brubaker's another one. We'll probably wait till the offseason. His demand has actually gone up, so we'll see. Sullivan's been good. Very good, actually. 2.07 ERA, 6-0. Ben Guess has had a up and down season for us. A couple of good months, couple of bad months. But this could be the beginning of the end for him if he wants a ton of money. Glasnow's been fine since coming over. Richardson's had a pretty nice bounce-back year. A couple of bad outings here as of late, but overall has been fine. On pace for 2 wins. Bello's been good this year, 7-1. I know you can't really count wins, but as a reliever stat. But he's done a nice job when called upon. Haas is a sub-4 ERA. Peoples has settled down the closer's role a little bit. 3.09 ERA. He's got 20 saves. Cordereal's been bad. And then Lito and Fisher, I don't really count as pitchers. Offensively, Drew Jones, what else can you say? Just an absolutely incredible season. Chris B, 360 with a 930 OPS. Luke Lito having a really nice bounce-back year after a bit of a down season last year. On-base percentage. Look at that. We have 5 of our top 6. God, look at all those on-base percentages. 414, 405, 412, 398, 407, 394. Just absolutely nuts. Even Danny Fisher's at 360. Absolutely nuts. And some of these young guys that we gave a shot to this year, like Jackson Lynn, Chris Ferguson, Danny Fisher, they're all contributing in their own way. Ferguson's given you some pop, 15 home runs and 176 at-bats, 835 OPS, playing pretty good defensively. Danny Fisher has been coming on strong. He's got an OPS of over 800 as well. Jackson Lynn, an OPS of over 1,100. Sal Stewart has come back, and he's gotten better. Again, I still expect that, like I said, if he ends up at 260, 270, especially considering he missed all of last season, that's something you need to take into account. Victor Acosta's been really good. Yeah, his contract demands are going way up. So I don't know that we can afford that, but we may see what we can bring him back on a 1-year deal, especially if we free up some money from a pitching perspective. Moncada is still in the international complex. Real has been really good in A-ball, so I think he is due for a call-up to high A-ball. Bobby Newman, we don't really have a home for him because he can't really play the infield. He's not going to play first base for us, so he may be a trade chip next year. Andy Powers, Andy Powers, man, he will be He'll be on our big league roster next year. We're just going to have to figure out what to do with him. Satterfield, we talked about. McElfresh was our number 1 pick a year ago. Doing pretty well in rookie ball, so let's call him up to Fresno. Compton, he'll be up next season. He'll be part of the rotation. He'll be part of the pitching staff. I don't know if he'll be a starter or a reliever, but he'll be up next year. Not pitching well enough to get called up yet. Fisher is already up. Rodriguez. We looked at him. He was an international signing. And I think that's it. So, yeah, guys, we are 3 games up on the Padres. It's August 1st, and we're in first place. After giving up the potentially or arguably the best hitter in Colorado Rockies history in Sam Wesniak, we just continue to roll along. And Sam this year has had a down season for him. I mean, he's still putting up an over 1,000 OPS, but averaged at 281. It's a 3.5 WAR. It's on pace for 36 home runs. Yeah, he's been hurt for a while, so I feel like we made the right move there, guys, letting him go. So that's going to do it for this episode. Guys, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate your support, and I will see everybody on Wednesday. Bye-bye.